Hi, Alison from Silicon Bullet here on another dog walk with Daisy. I was about to show you Daisy, but she was having a quick wee. But yeah, there you go, there she is, out in the gorgeous Salty Forest in Northamptonshire. Today I'm going to talk about, for a small business, what to do with cash, because you still need to manage it correctly, but the days seem to be almost long gone with the business that I deal with that used to use a petty cash account, where you might have a little tin with some money in, and you'd have a book, and whenever somebody in the office needed to go and get milk or something, they would take the cash out of the tin, go and buy the milk, and then write it down in the little book, and the balance in your accounts package for the cash should have matched the cash that's left in the tin, and every now and then the business owner would go and get 50 quid out of the bank account and top it up again, and you would enter all these cash transactions in. Can't remember the last time I saw a business that actually did that. I'm sure there are plenty that do, and in that case what you would do is have a petty cash account in your accounts package, and you would probably not record every transaction individually, but maybe once a month, once a week, once a year, whatever works best for you. Add up everything you've spent on milk, everything you've spent on stationery, everything you've spent on postage, and put entries into that petty cash account to that effect. And when you take the money out of the bank, you do a bank transfer from the bank account to the petty cash account. And at the end of the year, the amount of money you've got in your little tin should match what petty cash says. But that's an ideal situation. You're a small business, you're a business owner. Quite often petty cash just means the money that's come out of your pocket. So let me give you a couple of tips on how I manage this. Slightly different in Xero than it is in Sage, just because in Xero you don't want to leave an account with a whole load of unreconciled items in. So let me go back a bit. What I would do in either package is, if you occasionally get a customer who pays you in cash, then mark that invoice as paid to the cash account or the petty cash account, whatever package it is. If you're ever buying little things, maybe the business owner is reimbursing a staff member who's nipped and got some milk on the way into work or anything, then you can put those in as bills and mark them as paid, or just do them as directly as payments on your petty cash account. Now, what often happens then is the balance that's left kind of usually just ends up in the business owner's pocket. It's not kept as a separate amount. So what I will do then is, at the very least at the year end, if it's more money than that more regularly, I would review the transactions that are in the petty cash account. Literally just look through them, check they make sense, check that it's not excessive, check that it's right and proper for your business. And as with a client of mine this week, they'd ended up, because they'd had quite a few people pay them in cash, they'd end up with a £500 balance, which has kind of ended up in their pocket. What we will do then is we do an adjustment, a bank payment out of the petty cash account, and journal it to directors. Sorry, not journal. Do a bank payment as the petty cash account, so you don't need to do a journal, and allocate that to the director's loan account with no VAT. And that's basically showing that the business owner has taken that money out of the business. Might be the business owner is owed money by the business, or the other way around, and it needs to be accounted for, and that's something that the accountant can take into consideration at the year end when it's working out dividends. It might be that you offset it against pay or payroll or something like that later on, but at the very least make sure it gets put in to the director's loan account. Then if I was in Xero and I've just done my review of the petty cash account, I would then manually mark all those transactions as reconciled, which happens on the transactions page of the bank account. Now, if you only get the remove and redo option at the top left, you might not have switched on the ability to enable mark as reconciled. So what you need to do in your Xero login when you're on the bank page is click on the little question mark in the top right hand corner, scroll right to the bottom of that list, and there's a little radio button that you can switch on and off to allow enable mark as reconciled. Then in the bank account you can tick the little tick box on the left hand side of all the transactions that you've just reviewed, and then go to the more button and mark them as reconciled. That's just a way of you knowing when you last did the review, what you've reviewed, and where you've got to come to next time. If I'm an account where they're VAT registered, so I'm getting a bit close to the traffic of the motorway, which is lovely just down the end there. So I would do that at least before I did a VAT return, because then you'll spot if you've accidentally posted something to the cash account that you shouldn't have done, or maybe suddenly staff are suddenly buying a lot more milk and there's somebody fraudulently putting through the business and you're needing to keep an eye on the cash. If it's small numbers, not particularly worried about it, but you need to keep an eye on it so it doesn't get out of control. So those are my top tips for dealing with cash in your bookkeeping, petty cash. If you need help sorting it out, or the video isn't good enough for you to understand what's going on, then you can arrange a hand-to-hand personal session, hand-holding. Here comes Daisy running back to see why I've stopped. And so look for me at www.siliconbullet.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more interesting YouTube videos. There you go, there's Daisy come back. A little bit distracted today, but you get what I'm trying to say. Arrange a session with me. We can hop onto Teams. I can have a look at your accounts with you, check that it makes sense. We can video the session so that you've got it to look back at later, and help you get your Xero or Sage really tidy so that you know what you're doing going forward. That's Alison Mead from Silicon Bullet. I will speak to you soon. Bye.